What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be covering in this update video is the most up-to-date Ortex data that we have currently available to us. But we're going to go over how I expect some of these numbers to change and how I could see it affecting AMC's share price going forward after this absolutely massively bloody day that we saw in the overall market. Now, in addition to this, we also need to talk about what I see happening with AMC's Max Payne going into the end of this week, because I do expect it to move, and it may not be in the way that a lot of people are expecting, going along that same train of thought that we've been kind of talking about in my previous videos. Now, the two main things that I really want to go over is that in both of the live streams today, people were talking about the fact that they were thinking that Vanguard sold a significant portion of their position, almost 40 million shares. We're going to go over why this is not the case at all, and it's honestly really sad to see this type of FUD being spread, especially on a day where AMC is having such a rough day in terms of price action. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is this new manipulation lawsuit against Robinhood. This is a very interesting development, and when we think about what our other mission on this AMC GME journey is, it's really to try to make our markets more free and more fair, to really try to make these brokerages, these market makers, the securities lending, the short interest reporting, the entire market more transparent. So we are making steps in the right direction, even though the price action today doesn't necessarily signify that. Now, before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So you might be wondering, why do I have AMC and Cinemark on the chart right now? Now, I'm not the person to come out and scream manipulation, short ladder attack, naked shorting, synthetic shorts every single day. But when we look at what happened with AMC and Cinemark today and the news that really came out on the broad market with this new variant popping up in California, Cinemark fell 2% today. AMC down 15.82% during the market hours. It did bounce back pretty significantly in the after hours trading period, but if the fear is shutdowns and lockdowns, and the fear is then people can't go to the movie theater, then why is Cinemark not falling as drastically? So that is something to keep in mind going forward. I'm not trying to really point any fingers there, but the fact that we saw such a discrepancy in two companies in essentially the same industry in terms of the price movements today, it is very interesting. So coming over to this Ortex update right here, we're seeing the utilization at 75.08%. Again, these numbers over the next couple of days, they have the potential to really start to move back up to the upside. Now, we also have the estimated short interest at about 16.85%. Now, the strange thing today is we really didn't see a whole lot of Ortex updates. On the stream this afternoon, we were trying to keep refreshing Ortex to see if we were going to get an update, but we didn't really see any of these numbers change, and we actually saw the return shares decrease, which was a very interesting thing to see. So we only had 2.2 million shares borrowed against AMC today, but with the price action that we've seen over the last couple of days, and especially today, I would expect to see this estimated short interest, the shares on loan start to go up. The days to cover actually might come down a little bit because we did see a significant jump in volume today, but if the amount of shorts in shares on loan and that have actually been shorted into the market increase as well, we could then see the days to cover actually stay pretty flat. But again, utilization could go back up as well. So with where we're at right now, we could start to see the data really come back to those points where it is going to put a lot of pressure on these institutions to maybe issue a forced share recall, or in general, just put some sort of pressure on these shorts. Now, when we come over to this Max Payne chart right here, right now, the Max Payne on AMC is 36. But with where we're currently trading in the after hours, 29.74, if people are going to be buying weekly call options, hoping that AMC is going to move back up to the upside, they probably aren't going to be buying them in this mid 40, upper 40 range. They're probably going to be buying them closer into the upper 30 range, meaning the open interest on these strikes right here could start to increase. Now, when that happens, the market makers may need to push the share price of AMC down further from where the max pain is currently at than previously thought. So we could end up seeing the max pain step down to 35, maybe even 34 going into the end of this week. But again, that's some pretty decent upside from where we're currently trading at right now. And a little light at the end of the tunnel. We are still seeing the max pain at $40 a share going into that December monthly options expiration date. Now, let's get into this situation with Vanguard. I don't really know where this popped up. There was a video that was made about this that some of you guys were telling me about, so I did quickly browse through that, but let's just take a look at Fintel. So when we come over and take a look at Vanguard right here, the premise and the idea and the FUD getting spread around is that Vanguard sold their shares. Well, when we take a look at Vanguard's 13F, this top line right here is going to be Vanguard's total holdings, and everything listed below are going to be part of Vanguard's funds. Now, this was released on November 12th. They have 47 million shares. They increased their position by 6.2%. Remember, in quarter 3, and they have no signs anywhere on this list of them selling any portion of their position or closing out a position in any one of their funds. I think what somebody was looking at here was these numbers up here, and the file date was February of this year. And yeah, BlackRock, Vanguard, they had a significant less amount of shares in February, but that is not reflective of where they are at with their positions at the current time. And especially today, when AMC is having such a significant red day, when you see the top 2 institutional owners of AMC, people saying that these institutions sold, that is not a very good thing to be spreading around, especially since it is not factual at all. Now, let's get into this situation with this new lawsuit surrounding Robinhood's potential manipulation of the events that happened back in January. So when we come over to this lawsuit right here, shout out to Lawyer of the Apes on Twitter for posting this. Always a great source of information when we're looking at diving into any of these lawsuits against Citadel, Robinhood, or any of these other bad actors from the events that happened back in January. So the Robinhood defendants affected and distorted the normal market dynamics for the affected stocks by A, canceling purchase orders for the affected stocks placed before the markets opened for trading on January 28th, 2021, B, closing out options positions in AMC and GME early, C, prohibiting and later restricting purchases of the affected stocks on the Robinhood trading platform, and D, abruptly raising margin requirements for Robinhood's customers, forcing those who could not meet the margin calls for the affected stocks to sell some or all of their holdings. This block right here is information that we kind of already know, this beginning paragraph, but there is something in this lawsuit that I have not necessarily seen before, and shout out to Lawyer of the Apes for bringing this to my attention on Twitter, that Robinhood is facing a violation of Rule 10b-5. It shall be unlawful for any person directly or indirectly by the use of any means or instrumentality of interstate commerce or by the mails or of any facility of any national securities exchange to A, employ any device, scheme, or artifice to defraud, to make any untrue statement of a material fact, or to omit to state a material fact necessary in order to make the statements made in the light of the circumstances under which they were made not misleading, or to engage in any act, practice, or course of business which operates or would operate as a fraud or deceit upon any person in connection with the purchase or sale of any security. So Robinhood is facing a pretty significant lawsuit here for their manipulation of what happened back in January. And when you take a look at Hood's share price, it's not doing so hot right now. Robinhood, with all of the situations going on with the potential ban for payment for order flow, with all of the information that the apes have now gotten out there into the open market about how bad and how manipulative our market is at the current time, is a really, really good thing for the future transparency of our overall market, but we are going to need to see some action. So that is mainly going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.